In the crystalline command chamber of the Dominion flagship, High Commander Zixtal's iridescent form pulsed with rage as he stared at the holographic display. Another fleet, his third, reduced to debris by these supposedly primitive humans. For the first time in his 3-century reign of perfect conquests across 12 galaxies, his infallible invasion plan was crumbling. From atop the gleaming spires of New Beijing, Commander Sarah Chen watched the captured alien warship rise from its underground hangar, its quantum engines humming with stolen power. Her fingers traced the battle scars on her tactical display, each mark a testament to humanity's desperate ingenuity. The enemy's technology had been perfect, precise, unbeatable, until they met a species willing to weaponize chaos itself. The Dominion's war room thrummed with nervous energy as subordinate commanders shifted their crystalline forms away from Zixtal's growing rage. Holographic debris from their destroyed fleet drifted across the tactical display, each piece a testament to their failure. "Explain," Zixtal demanded, his voice sharp as fractured glass, "how these primitives transformed our own quantum shields into weapons." Strategic Commander Verlac's response came hesitantly. They didn't follow any known combat protocols, High Commander. Instead of targeting our weak points, they overloaded their captured ship's fusion cores near our fleet formations. The resulting quantum cascade turned our perfect defenses into perfect prisons, Zixtal finished, his form darkening to deep indigo. And now they have more of our ships. Meanwhile, on Earth, Sarah Chen's tactical room buzzed with controlled chaos. Technicians worked frantically at stations, jury-rigged with alien tech, while holographic representations of Earth's remaining defense forces flickered overhead. "Status on Operation Trojan?" she asked, studying the real-time feed from their latest victory. Lieutenant Rodriguez, her head of engineering, grinned. 3 more ships secured, Commander. The aliens still haven't realized their fatal flaw. They built their systems to be unbreakable, but never considered we'd use that perfect stability against them. "Their loss," Sarah replied, zooming in on the captured warship rising from New Beijing's underground facility. "How long until we can replicate their quantum shield technology?" "That's the beauty of it," Rodriguez said, pulling up schematics on her tablet. "We don't need to. Their systems are so perfectly designed that once we're in, we can't be locked out. It's like they never considered the possibility of their tech being used against them." Back in the Dominion flagship, Zixtal made a decision that would alter the course of the war. Initialize the Purge Protocol. His subordinates froze, their crystalline forms shimming with shock. Verlac spoke first. "But High Commander, the Purge would destroy all our technology on Earth, including our captured ships." Zixtal's form pulsed with grim determination. "Better to lose our technology than let these humans corrupt it further. Send the signal." On Earth, Sarah's tactical display suddenly flashed red. "Commander!" Rodriguez shouted. "The alien tech, it's receiving some kind of signal." Sarah's eyes narrowed as she watched the incoming data. "They're trying to shut it all down remotely." A smile crossed her face. "Just as we predicted. Lieutenant, execute Phoenix Protocol." Across Earth, hidden transmitters activated, sending out a modified version of the Dominion's own shutdown signal, one that would turn their perfect system architecture against them one final time. In the crystalline command chamber, Zixtal watched in horror as his own Purge protocol rebounded through his fleet's quantum network. The humans hadn't just anticipated their move, they'd been counting on it. Perfect order, it seemed, had finally met its match in calculated chaos. The Dominion's invasion fleet emerged from quantum space like a shower of metallic stars, their crystalline ships refracting sunlight across Earth's atmosphere. Admiral Kenner watched from Lunar Base Alpha, her weathered face illuminated by tactical displays. 6,000 ships, she reported to the Global Defense Council. Largest invasion force we've ever detected. Sarah Chen's voice crackled through the quantum encrypted channel. Then they've brought us exactly what we need. The alien fleet's formation was mathematically perfect. Each ship positioned with microscopic precision. A thing of beauty, Sarah thought, and their greatest weakness. Launch Operation Butterfly, she commanded. Across Earth's orbital defense network, seemingly defenseless satellites suddenly sparked to life. Not weapons. The Dominion had already catalogued and dismissed those. Instead, each satellite released thousands of miniature reflective surfaces, creating a chaotic dance of light and shadow. In the Dominion flagship, First Strike Commander Telrix watched in confusion. High Commander, the humans are deploying mirrors? Ignore their primitive attempts at distraction, Zixtal ordered. Begin the primary assault pattern. But as his fleet moved forward, the mirror's true purpose revealed itself. Each reflection amplified and redirected the quantum signatures of the Dominion's own ships, creating a cascade of false readings that confused their perfect targeting systems. Impossible, Telrix whispered, as the first wave of ships began firing at phantom targets. They're using our own light against us. Sarah's voice carried across all Earth defense channels. Now, hidden beneath the lunar surface, electromagnetic pulse cannons, crude by Dominion standards, fired in calculated disorder. The pulses, scattered and amplified by the mirror field, created a web of interference that trapped the alien fleet in their own precision. Their ships are designed to work in perfect harmony, Sarah explained to Admiral Kenner. So let's show them some discord. The Dominion fleet's formation began to break apart as ships attempted to compensate for the false signals. Their perfect coordination became their undoing as automated systems fought against conflicting data. Zixtal watched in mounting horror as his first wave descended into chaos. Impossible! Our systems are perfect. That's exactly the problem, Telrix realized too late. They're not trying to match our perfection. They're turning it against us. Earth's conventional weapons would have been useless against the Dominion's quantum shields, but they weren't fighting with weapons. They were fighting with physics itself, using the aliens' own precision to create a symphony of destruction. In Lunar Base Alpha, Admiral Kenner allowed herself a grim smile. Ready, Phase 2? Already in motion, Sarah confirmed, watching as the scattered Dominion ships began emergency quantum jumps directly into the paths of their own fleet members. The space above Earth erupted in a cascade of crystalline destruction as ship after perfect ship shattered against their own kind. Their quantum shields amplifying rather than absorbing the impacts. Zixtal's voice boomed across the command channel. Full retreat! All ships! Emergency! But it was too late. The humans had turned their entire orbital defense grid into a quantum hall of mirrors, and the Dominion fleet was trapped in its own reflection. In the aftermath, as debris from 3,000 destroyed ships burned up in Earth's atmosphere like falling stars, Sarah Chen drafted her report to the Global Defense Council. The invasion force has been reduced by half, but more importantly, we've proven their perfection can be their weakness. They'll be back, and next time, they'll try to adapt. But that's exactly what we want. Because the moment they start thinking like us... She paused, watching a piece of crystalline hull streak across the night sky. Is the moment they start making human mistakes. Admiral Kenner's response was simple. Then we'll be ready for those too. In the Dominion flagship, now retreating to safe quantum space, Zixtal faced an unfamiliar sensation. Doubt. For the first time in his centuries of conquest, he wondered if perfection might be a flaw. Their arrogance makes them predictable. Sarah Chen briefed the Global Defense Council through secure quantum channels. Holographic displays showed the remnants of the Dominion fleet regrouping near Mars. But this advantage won't last. They're learning. Council leader Patel leaned forward, his hologram flickering. Elaborate. Sarah gestured, expanding a tactical overlay. Their second wave isn't maintaining perfect formation. They're introducing controlled variables. Random elements. A wry smile crossed her face. They're trying to think like us. And that's good news? Admiral Kenner asked from Lunar Base. It's excellent news, Sarah replied, because now they're operating outside their comfort zone. In the Dominion war chamber, Zixtal studied Earth's defensive patterns with new eyes. His crystalline form shifted through shades of deep purple to azure as he processed the data. Fascinating, he murmured. Their chaos has patterns within patterns. Verlac approached cautiously. High Commander, the experimental squadrons are ready. We've programmed them with randomized attack vectors, mimicking human unpredictability. No, Zixtal's form pulsed with sudden insight. We're still thinking like Dominion tacticians. To defeat humans, we must truly understand them. He turned to his subordinate. Bring me everything we have on their entertainment channels. Entertainment? Verlac's crystalline structure flickered in confusion. Their stories, their games, their art, their chaos has rules we can't see because we've never looked for them. Deep beneath New Beijing, Sarah led her elite team through captured Dominion technology. Lieutenant Rodriguez pointed to a crystalline console. We've decoded their base protocols. Their entire civilization is built on mathematical perfection. Which means, Major Williams added, running diagnostics on a quantum core. Every system has an optimal state. Push it even slightly off balance. And the whole thing compensates, Sarah finished, making it predictable in its pursuit of perfection. She activated her neural link to the defense grid. Time to show them true adaptation. Zixtal's research yielded unexpected insights. Human chess matches, their military history, even their chaotic music, all contained underlying structures that defied Dominion logic while following their own internal rules. They don't seek perfection, he announced to his command staff. They seek effectiveness. His form rippled with excitement. Modify our attack protocols. Don't make them random. Make them human. The third wave of Dominion ships approached Earth differently. Gone were the perfect formations. Instead, they moved like a school of fish, flowing and adapting. Sarah watched from the command center, genuine admiration in her eyes. They're learning faster than expected. She opened a channel to all Earth defense stations. Switch to Protocol Omega. Let's show them what real adaptation looks like. Earth's defensive grid transformed. The mirror satellites regrouped into seemingly random clusters. Ground-based quantum disruptors fired in jazz-like rhythms. The entire defense network began operating like a living organism. Beautiful, Zixtal whispered, watching the battle unfold. They are not just fighting us, they are dancing with us. The space between Earth and Mars became a testing ground for evolution itself. Each side adapted, learned, and transformed. But the humans had one advantage. They'd been doing this their entire existence. Sarah's voice carried across the battlefield. In perfect systems, a single flaw destroys everything. In adaptive systems, flaws become features. She authorized the activation of their secret weapon, a quantum virus that didn't attack the Dominion systems, but merged with them. Zixtal watched in fascination as his ship's perfect systems began incorporating human chaos, creating something entirely new. "Stop the attack," he ordered, his crystalline form resonating with revelation. "I understand now." The battle ended not with destruction, but with transformation. Both sides had changed, evolved, become something more than their original forms. In the aftermath, Sarah stood before the Global Defense Council. They came expecting to find primitives. Instead, they found teachers. Council leader Patel nodded gravely. "And what exactly have we taught them?" "That perfection isn't the absence of flaws," Sarah smiled. "It's the integration of them." Across the solar system, Zixtal began composing a message to the Dominion High Council. The humans hadn't just survived their perfect invasion, they'd shown them a new way to exist. The war wasn't over, but it had evolved into something far more interesting than conquest. The Purifier fleet materialized like a crystal wall across space, 30,000 ships strong. Their formation represented everything the Dominion once was: mathematically flawless, coldly precise, utterly inflexible. Sarah Chen studied their approach from Earth's hybrid command center, where crystalline displays flowed with organic data patterns. "Look how they maintain perfect spacing," she observed. "No adaptation, no evolution." "They see it as strength." Zixtal's voice resonated through the quantum link. His own hybrid fleet had taken position near Europa, their ships shimmering with newly developed camouflage patterns inspired by Earth's deep-sea creatures. Admiral Kenner's hologram materialized. "The Purifiers are broadcasting their demands. They want Earth to surrender and Zixtal's fleet to submit to immediate purification." Standard protocol. Zixtal's form rippled with what humans had learned to recognize as amusement. "They always demand surrender before attempting annihilation." Sarah activated the tactical overlay. "Then let's show them why that protocol is obsolete." The hybrid defense grid awakened. Earth's orbital platforms, now enhanced with crystalline technology, began emitting quantum signatures that mimicked natural phenomena: solar flares, asteroid fields, gravitational anomalies. The Purifier's perfect sensors, designed to detect order, struggled to distinguish threat from background noise. "Begin Operation Phoenix," Sarah commanded. Zixtal's hybrid fleet split into seemingly random groups, each moving with the unpredictability of weather patterns while maintaining the precision of atomic clockwork. They weren't just combining human and Dominion tactics, they were creating something entirely new. The Purifier fleet's response was predictable. They split into mathematically equal groups, each targeting a perceived threat with overwhelming force. Perfect strategy against a conventional enemy. "They still think in absolutes," Sarah noted. "Watch what happens when we introduce variables." From hidden positions throughout the solar system, Earth's new hybrid ships emerged. They moved like schools of fish one moment, like quantum particles the next, their crystalline hulls refracting light in ways that confused both visual and quantum sensors. The Purifier fleet's perfect formation began to fragment, as they attempted to compensate for threats that refused to follow logical patterns. Their responses, based on millennia of unchanged protocols, proved inadequate against enemies that evolved mid-battle. "Now," Sarah ordered, "show them true harmony." Earth's hybrid fleet and Zixtal's transformed Dominion ships moved in concert, their actions synchronized yet unpredictable. Where the Purifiers sought to impose order, the hybrid forces embraced controlled chaos, turning the very vacuum of space into a battlefield that defied conventional logic. The Purifier commander's transmission cut through all channels. "This abomination must end. Initiate final protocol." The Purifier fleet began to link into a single quantum network, their ultimate expression of perfect coordination. 30,000 ships preparing to act as one. Sarah smiled. "Exactly as predicted." Zixtal gave the signal. Hidden within the hybrid fleet's seemingly chaotic movements, quantum viruses had been spreading through space, not attacking, but waiting. As the Purifier fleet linked together, these viruses activated, not to destroy, but to transform. The effect cascaded through their perfect network. Ship by ship, the Purifier fleet's rigid programming began to encounter new possibilities. Their quantum processors, faced with patterns that were neither order nor chaos but both, began to evolve. "They're experiencing what we experienced," Zixtal observed, his form pulsing with complex emotions. The revolution of understanding. Across the battlefield, Purifier ships began to break formation, not in retreat, but in transformation. Their perfect crystalline structures started showing signs of controlled variation, beauty emerging from the marriage of precision and chaos. The Purifier commander's final transmission conveyed both horror and wonder. What? What are we becoming? Sarah's response was gentle. Something better than perfect. As the transformed fleet hung in space like a new constellation, Admiral Kenner voiced the question on everyone's mind. Will the High Council send more? They won't, Zixtal answered with certainty. Because by now the same transformation is spreading through all Dominion space. Evolution cannot be contained. Sarah watched the hybrid fleets merge, no longer divided by origin or ideology. The perfect plan failed, she mused, but it gave birth to something far more valuable. Understanding, Zixtal agreed, his form now a complex dance of light and pattern. Together, they had created something unprecedented, a civilization that embraced both chaos and order, finding strength in their synthesis rather than their separation. The Dominion High Council chamber, once a monument to crystalline perfection, now rippled with unprecedented discord. News of the Purifier fleet's transformation had spread across their 1,000 worlds, sparking what they'd always feared most: questions. Supreme Counselor Nixar's form blazed with barely controlled fury. 3 fleets lost, our perfect society contaminated, and now our own worlds demand change. The last word emerged like a shard of broken crystal. Across the galaxy, Sarah Chen and Zixtal addressed the United Earth Council via quantum projection. The chamber, a blend of human architecture and crystalline technology, symbolized their evolving partnership. The High Council faces revolution, Zixtal explained, his transformed structure catching light in ways impossible for traditional Dominion forms. Not through violence, but through idea transmission. Sarah brought up a galactic display. Their conquered worlds are awakening. Species that were forced into perfection are rediscovering their natural patterns. And demanding autonomy, Rodriguez added, monitoring quantum communications from former Dominion territories. They're using our hybrid tech to break free from centralized control. The display showed spreading waves of change. Entire star systems, shifting from rigid geometric patterns to organic, evolving networks. The Dominion's perfect empire was transforming into something fluid, adaptive. Supreme Counselor Nixar faced mounting pressure. The ascended worlds demand recognition, a junior counselor reported, their form showing traces of human-inspired patterns. They refused to maintain pure Dominion protocols. Heresy, Nixar hissed. We are perfection incarnate. We were stagnation incarnate, corrected Council Member Verlac, newly returned from Earth. Look at what we've become since embracing change. Verlac projected images of the hybrid fleets, their ships displaying impossible beauty in their controlled chaos. This isn't contamination. It's evolution. On Earth, Sarah received urgent communications from a dozen former Dominion worlds. They're requesting guidance, she told the Council. Not in achieving perfection, but in managing change. The irony, Admiral Kenner noted, our greatest enemy becoming our most eager student. Zixtal's form rippled with new patterns. And perhaps we've been students as well. Your chaos taught us to evolve, but our precision helped you harness it. In Dominion space, the crisis reached its peak. Supreme Counselor Nixar faced a choice: adapt or be rendered obsolete. The pure Dominion worlds, once the Empire's crown jewels, now seemed frozen in time compared to their evolving colonies. Their perfection has become their prison, Sarah observed, watching the political dynamics unfold, just as their tactical perfection was their weakness. The breakthrough came from an unexpected source. The youngest Dominion worlds, those most recently conquered, proposed a new framework, the Adaptive Confederation, a system where perfection wasn't a fixed state, but a continuous process of evolution. Nixar's resistance finally cracked when presented with irrefutable data. The hybrid worlds were advancing faster, developing technologies that pure Dominion science couldn't comprehend. Their controlled chaos had unlocked possibilities that perfect order never imagined. Perhaps, the Supreme Counselor conceded, patterns of change finally rippling through their crystalline form. Perfection lies in the ability to evolve. Sarah and Zixtal exchanged knowing looks as the news spread. The Dominion wasn't just accepting change, it was embracing it. Across the galaxy, rigid protocols transformed into adaptive algorithms. Perfect crystals learned to flow like water while maintaining their essential strength. They called our humanity a weakness, Sarah addressed the Earth Council. Now they understand it was our greatest strength all along. And we, Zixtal added, his form now a symphony of ordered chaos, learned that strength without adaptation is ultimately fragile. The crisis hadn't ended. It had transformed. What began as an invasion had become a revolution, not of weapons, but of ideas. The perfect plan had failed spectacularly, yet its failure had achieved something far greater than its success ever could. As the newly formed Adaptive Confederation took its first steps, Sarah reflected on the journey. They came to teach us perfection, she mused, watching Earth's hybrid defense grid pulse with crystalline energy. Instead, they learned the perfection of imperfection. Zixtal's response carried the wisdom of their shared evolution. And you taught us that the only constant worth maintaining is the ability to change. The Empire's crisis had become its salvation, proving that true strength lies not in achieving perfection, but in the endless journey of becoming something more.